Please welcome Joanne Flederer. She's going to speak on Ostara, the goddess of spring.
Morning, everybody. Do we need the other mic? This one works all right?
Fine.
Yes. Okay. All right. So Tim asked me to talk a little bit about the parallels between St. Patrick and Ostara. And first of all, they occur around the same time of the year, with St. Patrick's Day, of course, being on the fixed date of the Gregorian calendar, March 17th, and Ostara moving with the spring equinox from the 20th to the 21st of March, back and forth based on the movements of the sun. And of course, the equinox is a time of equal day and equal night, and the return of the sun, the sunny half of the year. One of the things that also is a parallel with St. Patrick's Day is that St. Patrick brought another son to Ireland, the Son of God. So you see these things starting to merge a little bit. This is, sort of the symbolism that crosses over from the pagan celebrations into the Christian ones, which is sort of a theme here. The festival of Ostara, there are some disagreements about when it actually started and whether it was existing at the time of St. Patrick. I'm not here to get into the controversy about that, but I think we all know that across the world, there were different celebrations of spring in many different cultures. Mithras in Rome, Saraswati in the Hindu faith, Osiris in Egypt, and it goes on and on. So that whole idea of the rebirth of the earth, the greening of the earth, spring coming again, is fairly common in the pagan world. And the pagans were not, of course, all of one, and still are not all of one belief system. That term encompassed many different types of faith in a pantheistic rather than monotheistic world. So some people think that the Christian festival of St. Patrick's Day, Christian celebration of St. Patrick's Day, may have been adopted in place of the celebration of the equinox. And recall that the Emperor Constantine set about to make Christianity the dominant religion of the Roman Empire, and he tolerated the pagans, but he wanted to bring them under the mantle of Christianity gradually. And part of the way this was done was through the adoption of the pagan symbols and pagan beliefs into the Christian pantheon. So the Anglo-Saxon goddess Ostara, here she is the source of the word Ostara and the word Easter as well. And her name signifies east, where the sun comes up in the morning. You can see some of her symbols here: the sun, the birds, the rabbits, or the white hare. She's often seen with the white hare next to her. The eggs, of course, and the greening of the earth coming back to life again. Let me see if I can do this. Just advance it. Oh, there we go. So here's another example of the power of symbolism, where a pagan symbol, in this case the circle of the sun, was superimposed over the Christian cross. So you can see where these things are starting to merge a little bit from the pagan world into the Christian pantheon. So other sorts of pagan traditions associated with the Christian celebrations of St. Patrick and Easter, which we'll be talking about a little bit more, I think, next week. The eggs, the rabbits, the greening of the earth, you see green out here, among you today. That color green, of course, being very symbolic. Dancing in the early Christian celebrations of St. Patrick, there was dancing and music as we have today. The other thing where there's some controversy is the symbol of the clover. Some believe that this was a symbol of the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And as a pagan symbol, was sort of blended with that Christian belief system. Other people say that never happened. I'll leave it to you to decide. One of the other things that is associated with St. Patrick, and we're all familiar with the leprechauns, which were also derived from the mischievous fairies in the pagan world. And so gradually you can see where these things sort of blended together. And now we have St. Patrick's Day sort of based on green beer and partying. And I'm not sure where that comes from. But I leave you with this explanation of Ostara and St. Patrick's Day and the connection between the two of them.